Hi, I'm Emily and this is Made on Mill. So here in Canada where I live, our Thanksgiving is in about a month. And so for me, I always think fall is starting kind of when September begins. The leaves are starting to change here. We have those really warm days, like the sun is really warm, but the air is really crisp. So I was feeling like our porch really needed a small fall refresh. Along with the gardens that I gave a little bit of an update to, I like to switch out the summer pillows that we have here. So this is where I decided to make some pillows of my own. But anyways, let me go ahead and show you how to create these little pillowcases that I made. I'll show you how to do that with an open-ended zipper. So an open-ended zipper is when you buy a length of zipper tape or a coil and you cut it to the exact length you need. That means you also will be adding your own zipper pull to your zipper. It's super easy, and what I love about this is you can always cut it to the exact length you need instead of trying to order a zipper for the length that you need. And then I will show you two ways that I attached the zipper. So the first one was adding this piece of fabric at the bottom here, which kind of acts like a zipper pull and it caps the zipper. The second way I did it was not adding that piece of fabric and simply closing up the pillow around the zipper. So I will show you both ways. I will also be teaching you how to make your own piping that you can add to your pillow. All right, let's get started. For this project, you will need your pillow inserts. So some pillow inserts have on the tag, it actually has the measurement that you need, or you can simply measure from seam to seam. So the pillows I am using in this video are 14 inches by 21 inches. Once you have your pillow measurements, we will need to cut out the fabric. I find if I use a heavier weight cotton canvas or upholstery fabric, the pillows look like so much more luxurious. They look high end and high quality, and they are going to last a bit longer than, say, making them out of a quilter's cotton. I am adding 1/2 inch seam allowance to each side of this, which means that my fabric cuts will be 15 inches by 22 inches. So you will need a front panel and a back panel. Now we will move on to making the piping. I'm using it's like a cotton cord, but it's actually for a clothesline. So it's what I have outside in our backyard, and I just had some leftovers, so that is what I'm using. You can also purchase your own pre-made piping or completely exclude it from this project if you want. I find that adding the piping sort of elevates the pillows a little bit, and again, making them feel a little bit more high quality. And I only had enough piping to do 3 sides of my pillow, but you can certainly add it to where the zipper is if you want. So you will need to add up the measurements all around the sides of the pillow that you want your piping, and then you will need to make sure you have enough piping and fabric for that. So once you have your total measurement, I would add 1 inch or 2 just to account for corners and where you need to do any seam allowances if you're joining your strips of fabric. So now that you have that measurement, we can begin cutting out strips of fabric. So to get started, you will take your strips of fabric and then stitch them together. Once you have attached your long ribbon of fabric strips, you can go ahead and insert the cord. So how I do this is I lay the fabric out flat, and then I put my cord down in the center, and I'll fold my fabric with wrong sides together around the cord. Now for the ends of your piping, you can fold over the end and tuck that into your piping seam allowance so that the end has no raw edges. Now you can go ahead and use a zipper foot attachment on your sewing machine and run a basting stitch, so you can just use a longer stitch length to secure the cord within the fabric strips and create your piping. Now that the piping is complete, we can move on to basting it to the pillow before we close in the pillow. I find this is easier than trying to sandwich the piping between the two layers of fabric. It just makes it a little bit neater and easier to do. So you will pin your piping around the perimeter of your pillow. Now it doesn't matter if you use the back side or the front side, because this will sit in between that seam of the front and back panel. I am doing the front panel here, so I am lining up that bottom edge of the piping to the outside edge of the front panel of my pillowcase. And so the piping is towards the inside. So you can go ahead and pin this around and then baste it down. You don't need to get super close to the cord. You just want to secure it to your piece of fabric. Now, when you get to the corners, I found it easiest to clip the seam allowance of the piping around the corner. And then I ran a stitch along one side and took my needle and thread completely off the panel, cut the thread, and then restarted my stitching line to do the other side. Now, since we made one long piping piece, when you get to the end, you are going to need to cut it. So what I did was cut it a little ways off of the bottom of the panel. I cut it, and then I opened up that basting seam allowance that we made when we prepared the piping. Then I cut the cord and folded over the end of the fabric strip, and then enclose the piping again like we did when we started with the ends. And this way all raw edges are fully encased. Now, since I'm not running the piping around all four sides, I won't be making a connection. So I found this was the easiest way for a clean finish where the piping starts and finishes. Let's move on to the zipper. So you will start by cutting a length of zipper that you will need for your pillow. I decided to cut a 20-inch zipper so that there was an extra inch on both sides. Now remember, we have a 1/2 inch seam allowance on the side, so this means there will only be a 1/2 inch gap between the edge of the pillow and where the zipper starts. Now, for the first option, we were not adding those zipper caps. We will simply stitch the zipper onto the panels with the right sides facing. Now, you will use your zipper foot here. You will back stitch to start and stop, and then you will stitch as close as you can to the zipper teeth as you can get. Once you've stitched across, you will go ahead and flip it over so the right side of the panel and the zipper are facing you, and you will press over that seam that you just created. Then you will run a top stitching line on the top of your pillow panel, catching the zipper below. And this creates a really clean finish and further secures the zipper. Then you will go ahead and repeat this for the other side, making sure that the zipper is aligned in the same portion of the back panel as it was the front panel. For the second option of the zipper, I added these zipper caps. So you will cut a piece of fabric. I think mine was, I wasn't too worried about the width of it so long as it's wider than the zipper tape itself. And then you will cut a length of, I don't know, 3 inches or so. That should be more than enough. So what I did was folded in the 2 shorter raw edges and then kind of folded in places like a cap over the end of the zipper. Now, that is how you get them attached. But before we do this, it's really important to add the zipper pull to the zipper. So what you will do is start by separating the teeth of the zipper on one end and going ahead and inserting your zipper teeth into your zipper pull, doing one side at a time. This can be a little bit tricky and finicky, but you'll get it. And I find it's easier if you kind of take the zipper teeth and think about kind of bringing them in on an angle and then angling them down into the zipper pull. That's the easiest way I've found that works for me. Once your zipper pull is on, you can go ahead and close the length of the zipper. Now, at the end, you will open up those teeth. So your zipper pull is on, most of your zipper is closed, but at one end you will leave these open. So when you go to put your zipper cap on, you want to have a little bit of space between your zipper teeth. And this is going to let the zipper close to its fullest rather than if you had pulled the teeth together and stitched it that way. So as I said, you will put the cap on the zipper and then you will go ahead and run a top stitching line to secure the cap to both ends of the zipper. Then trim away any excess width so that the zipper cap is the same width as the zipper. Now, as we did with the other method, you will then put the zipper onto your panels with the right side facing. Run your stitching line to secure your zipper to your panel, then flip it over and run a top stitching line. Now, for this method, I did forget to run a top stitching line on the back panel. It still works, it's okay, and we're probably not going to see it, but I do still recommend running that top stitching line. Now that our zipper is attached, we can go ahead and work on those 2 panels and getting them sewn together. You will make sure your zipper is open and you will put the front and back panels with the right sides facing. Now, if you did the zipper the first method, be very careful not to pull your zipper pull all of the way off your zipper since there's no caps or anything at the end that will stop your zipper. So with right sides together, you will line up the corners and pin around your pillow so that everything is nicely secured in place. You will go ahead and stitch your way around the perimeter of the border, securing the 2 panel pieces together on the 3 sides. A couple of notes here, because we are working with piping, you want to get your zipper foot on your sewing machine as close to the piping as possible. So what you can do on your sewing machine is move your needle position further to the left so that even if the zipper foot can't get super close to your piping, then your needle will. When it comes to the zipper, for the first method of the zipper that had no cap, you will start about 1/2 inch from the edge of the zipper and you will work a stitch from the bottom of the pillow up towards that stitching line you made when you secured the zipper. And you will go back and forth a few times to create essentially a zipper stop at this point. Once you reach that stitching line, you will keep your needle down, pivot your work, then continue that stitching line to reach the edge of your work, and then continue securing the 3 sides of your pillow together, doing the same method at the other end of the zipper, creating a zipper stop. For the second way that you can attach your zipper with the zipper caps, this isn't totally necessary since essentially the bottom portion of the zipper of the pillow is fully enclosed at this point, you can just start at the side of the pillow that hasn't been enclosed yet and stitch your way around. Once your 2 panels are secured, you can go ahead and just check that it's fully secured in the corner. Because there is piping, it can be difficult to make sure you captured enough seam within your stitching line. So if you need to go back and correct any of those corners, this is your time to do it. Now you can clip your corners, be careful not to cut your seam allowance, and then you can turn your pillow right side out and it's finished. You can use your fingers to pop out those corners. You would pop out all 4, and then you can go ahead and add your pillow insert, and that is the tutorial. Our porch really needed a small fall refresh. There were a few sections in our garden where seeds didn't come up, so I'm going ahead and adding some mums here. And when the season is done, I will dig up these mums and put them in our gardens elsewhere. Since they are perennial where I live, I don't like to toss them at the end of the season. We also have a wooden garden box that sits on our front porch, and so this is a great place for me to add our annual flowers. And in the fall, I like to switch those out since I find the summer and spring blooms are very spent at this point. I decided to leave I don't know what these plants are at the front here. They kind of look like succulents, but they are blooming and they have like a deep kind of like fuchsia color to them, so I thought they went with a little bit of the color theme I was going with, and they were still looking so healthy, so I didn't want to pull them out. Now, as we get closer to our Thanksgiving and a bit later this month, pumpkins will be available. I am growing some in my yard, and my mom has a lot growing in her yard. So once those pumpkins are ready, I will add them into the garden a little bit, as well as our front flower box, to just add more to that fall theme. But for now, I'm just doing a small fall refresh. All right, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it to be helpful. If you have another way that you add zippers to your pillows, I would love to hear about that in the comments below. I feel like there's so many ways to do it, and perhaps more correct ways than not. But I think if your pillow is functional and the zipper holds up, then it works, right? If you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate it if you could give it a like, share, or subscribe.